So I asked Stacey to go ahead and share her story today. We're going to just focus this month on people sharing their stories, hearing their testimonies. And something we focused on last time is, what does it mean to tell your story? Is it about the details? Is it in the actual, I remember how I felt, where I was, what I smelt, what my hair looked like? Is it in those details? Does it matter? And we said yes, because it sets you apart from someone else just going, mom feel, which actually those posts are good too. Okay, don't think it's bad, but having your story and knowing your story and sharing your story, it's a gift to other people if you do it right. And Stacey does it right. She shared on our Business of Gut Health. So good. So I'm going to mute and let her share her story. Hers is going to be more about the business today. If you know her health story, it's amazing, but I can't wait for you to hear that. And then we're going to get busy.
All right, thank you. I am totally not in my comfort zone. We're on vacation, so I'm in a different space. I'm on my daughter's Mac computer, which her laptop I don't ever use. But I am happy to be here, and I'm thrilled to just share a little bit of my story with you. And I'm sorry about all the noises and things that are happening. Is it okay? Can you hear me? Okay, good. To at home. So I just want to share with you for a few minutes kind of how my story has progressed. And I have been with Plexus now for a little over 5 years. And I actually wanted nothing to do with the products. And I certainly wanted nothing to do with the business. I had a friend, my sweet friend Michelle, who had asked me for over a year to try the products. And I kept telling her, thank you so much. I really appreciate you thinking about us, but no, we don't do vitamins. We don't do all natural. And so no, thank you. But we really got to the point, and when I say we, I'm talking about my husband and I, where we were thinking that aging was pretty miserable, and we were only in our mid to late 40s. And so we had to try something. And so we finally did. After a year of telling her no, we decided we would give the products a try. And I actually told her right away, but I will have nothing to do with telling anybody or sharing. Like, nope, it's not going to happen. And so I meant that. And I actually thought I would take the products for a month and then use my 60-day guarantee and then call it good. But again, here I am 5 years later, because the products have worked so well and the business opportunity has been a huge blessing. So we started off where I signed up my husband in December of 15. And we signed him up because I was with another company. And so I had, again, we were just going to take the products, but they started working on day one. And I decided that this was so easy, you guys. I didn't have to have a hostess. I didn't have to have inventory. I didn't have to carry a bunch of stuff and, lug it to a party that night. And so it was changing our life, our health, our happiness, our relationship. It was changing so much that I had to tell people. And so I decided in January that I was going to jump on board. So it was about a month after we started taking the products, and I was going to start sharing. And day one, I went silver. Because we had been taking the products and because I already knew how amazing they were, I started telling my friends before I signed up. So day one, I went silver. And in my first month, I went fast. It was fast track gold back then. So it's the old way, where I think it was pretty hard. Like, I love this new way, and wish I would have had that opportunity. So take advantage of it if you're new. But I fast tracked gold my first month, which meant that my team had to have 20 new people in the first month. And so I actually had 19 of those people, and my team had one. And that, I thought, wow, like, look at me go. I didn't want to share, and here I am fast tracking gold. And, you heard from a lot of people that people just don't do that. Well, here's the thing. There I sat for the next 4 years. So so I fast tracked gold in month 1, was so excited, had all of these people, but I didn't really know what to do with that growth. I didn't have systems put in place to handle all of that. And so as you can imagine, that fell apart as quickly as it grew. But I didn't give up because I truly believed in the products. I believed in the opportunity. And so in January of 20, I don't know if any of you were there, but I ended up going to the Align retreat in California. And I had the honor of having Tiffany Peterson. If you know Tiffany, if not, you want to make sure you look her up. But I had the honor of having Tiffany Peterson call me up on stage in front of like 400 people. And I am not someone who raises my hand and says, you know, pick me. I want to go up in front of 400 people and like bare my soul. But for whatever reason, I was like, there was a huge tug for me to do that. And I actually, it seems weird, but I knew she was going to call on me from everybody that had their hand raised. So it's really weird because I'm not usually that kind of a person, but she did. And I went up on stage, and this is the thing I will never forget. She asked me to tell a little bit about my story with Plexus. And so the first thing I shared with her is, well, I've been stuck at gold for the last 4 years. That was the wrong thing to say to Tiffany Peterson. Like for me, you guys, I thought I was just giving her the facts. Like I thought I was just sharing a fact that I had been stuck at gold for 4 years. Oh yeah, no, nope. She politely asked me when I was going to stop telling myself that story. And I hadn't thought about it being a story. Like I hadn't thought of it in that way at all. But really, as I thought through all of that and really soaked that all in, that's exactly what I was doing. I was telling myself I was stuck for 4 years. So if you are telling yourself that, stop it right now. Stop it right now. So I left there and I stopped telling myself that. And actually, I stopped telling other people that, right? Because I would tell people when they asked me about Plexus, and that's what I would share. So I stopped that part. And I actually got to senior gold then in May of 2020. And then I sat there, but I didn't tell myself I was stuck. I kept moving. And I want to share something with you that I started doing, because again, I've always been so lost in like, what is your why? And like, find that quote that just speaks to you. And I've struggled with that. I have so struggled with that. And I only have a few more minutes, but I want to share with you that one thing I started doing was, I don't know if you have a Start Today journal or any kind of journal, but the Start Today journal has really worked for me. It's something that I've done for probably over a year, but not consistently until December of 2020. So in December of 2020, and I actually finally filled one up because I got consistent with it. I found a quote that spoke to me. It's a Martin Luther King Jr. quote. And I decided I was going to write that quote every single day over and over again in my Start Today journal. So if you're not familiar, you write 5 things that you're grateful for every single day. And then you write 10 dreams as if you've made them happen. So like, for example, I was writing, I am Ruby every day until I hit that in March of this year. So once I hit senior gold, I started writing I am Ruby, and I got to cross that off. And now I'm writing I am senior Ruby is my first one that I'm writing. But you write those things as you have made them happen. And then I just keep rolling them over every day until I hit that goal. And then I replace it with a new goal. And then I started writing my quote. And I put it up here and around here. So it doesn't even have a space for being in my journal, but I have found a space for it. And again, you want to just find that quote that speaks to you, but the one that speaks to me, and I've been writing every day since December, was use me, God, show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, and what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself. And so for me, I truly believe that doing this practice every morning or night, depending upon when I can do it, has helped to open my mind and my heart to the possibilities and to the opportunities. I had someone say to me recently, well, yeah, but like you got James. And, I don't know if you have seen any of the things I've been talking about. James is incredible. And James is a nurse practitioner who's like, he's got the big picture. And so we're building together. And when that person said that to me, had they said that to me probably 6 months ago, I would have said, yep, you're right. Like that's it. And that's why, we're growing and we're doing the things. But I truly believe the reason that I got James is because of the practice that I've been doing and the fact that my heart and my mind are open to those possibilities and to those opportunities. And so I want to share that with you, that I think those good things come when you're open to them. And I was closed off for a super, super long time. So, I could go through and name like all of the incredible things that have happened, since I've started doing this, but I don't want to take a lot of time. I want to tell you one other thing though. I just started reading this book, The Big Leap. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I think it speaks to the fact of like, have you ever gotten that big goal and then you're like, but why did I just like go and fall on my face after that? Okay, this is going to tell you why, and it's going to tell you what you can do about it. So I've been reading this on vacation, and I absolutely think you all should read it. So is that about 10 minutes? How'd I do? I went a little over. Sorry.
Well, I was definitely searching people's faces because I thought, is this just moving me in the way that it's moving me because I need to hear this, or is it moving everybody? And I saw Brandy's face, like she was in it. She was with you. Okay. That was so powerful. And I keep thinking about all the work that you did to become, you attracted James, like who you are brought him to your business. And how can you ever deny the power of personal growth? Just listening to Stacey's story. When my very first convention, I went into a room, a hotel room with a couple gals that I met, and we were all talking and sharing our story. And two of the girls that are now diamonds on my team were with me, and I didn't know them very well, but they're very, very smart. The way that they talk, the way they present themselves. And I'm all like honky donkey dory. And they're like, and then, they're just really right. And one of the girls had said to me, so tell me what you're doing with your business. And then she looked over and heard them talking, and she goes, never mind. I know what you did. And she's basically, I immediately, I was like, she's saying the only reason I'm here is because these two gals are in the room. And I kind of took that story on. But here's the funny thing. Could you sign someone up for Plexus, never add them to a page, never introduce them to your upline, never mention silver? Yes. And that to me, how would the person ever build a business? You did something. You introduced the business to them. You taught them everything you know to teach. And if you get someone better than you, I want you to lick your finger and touch your hip and make a sizzle sound, because that is amazing. Like, you should attract people better than you. That means you are really good at what you do. Like, I hope people better than me come along, because if they degrade, then I'm up a creek, right? So anyhow,
can I say one other thing? This is something I really wanted to say. You guys, I never thought that I was my issue. I never thought that I was like my own roadblock. I figured it had to be something other than myself. But really, immerse yourself in mindset training and personal development. And I have found that I have been my issue. And again, that would have been nothing that I would have ever have thought on my own. So I really needed that help to see that.
I appreciate that you shared today, and you're always so good. I feel lucky to have you on here.
Well, thank you.
I hope you enjoy. She's on vacation, y'all. She literally came up to her room and did this for us. So I appreciate it, Stacey, a lot. And I hope you guys take that to heart. Like, if someone ever says, well, how much personal growth do I have to do? You just say, how much do you get to do? Not have to do. How much do you get to do? Because we're all living with chains, invisible chains about whatever fear story we've told ourselves. And sometimes the new ones pop up. The older you get, you're like, ooh, what about this one? Let's take that one on for size. All right. The first thing I want you to do is we're going to do 20 minutes of all the follow up that you can possibly do for anyone that you have using products because of you. So I have customers, I have a lot of ambassadors. I even have people I helped my level ones sign up. So I still feel like we're in the early stages and I need to be helping them too. All about products, going to them and saying, tell me how you're sleeping. Tell me if you have any sign of detox. Do we need to add some dandelion tea? Hey, doctor's orders, not doctor, don't say that. Ambassador's orders, take an Epsom salt bath. So 20 minutes of product follow up with anyone you have using products with you. I'm nowhere near done with that section, but I'm going to keep going. But I want to give you guys another thing. You know that we have to mail our sticks of Slim on April 14th. So I have made myself a list. I have a column for their name, a column whether they said yes or no to the sample. I'll put scripts here in the chat. I have some really good ones. And then I put a column for I'm going to get to the mailbox store. That's what my place is called in town. And I'm going to have all these packages and I'm going to take a picture of myself at the mailbox store and I'm going to send it to every person on my list that is getting a sample and check that I did that. Then I'm going to check the day of that I followed up and sent them the Zoom ID. Then I'm going to check that I followed up with them after the event. Otherwise, I can't remember. So I'm going to start working right now to add people to my list that say yes to getting a sample. And I'll give you guys the script in the chat here. So just a second. Okay, I did the dreaded phone call. Do you guys ever call people to check on them? And Genevieve always says to do it. And I'm like that meme where the lady falls out of her chair, like when someone calls you. I hate being on the phone, but there is something special about that. So if you ever can do that, I suggest it. So we're not going to see each other until Monday. That means if you are planning to send samples for the virtual sip and see on the 20th, if you're planning to send them through the Engage app, you need to start now because they take a very long time to get to people. Otherwise, I will see you guys Monday morning at 10. And let me double check who's going to share their story before I hop off. Right now, who I put down is Venetia and Kendra Bartlett. So if y'all would be prepared for that, you guys have a good night.